Imagine waking up tomorrow. You reach for your smartphone, but it's just not there. No screen, no apps, nothing. Yet somehow you can still make calls, translate languages on the fly, and pay at your local coffee shop, all without touching a single device. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, it's not. Some of the biggest tech giants in the world, along with some incredibly innovative Indian deep tech startups, are literally building this future as we speak. By the end of this explainer, you're going to see exactly how these revolutionary technologies are poised to make smartphones look as ancient as pagers. So, let's get into it. Okay, let's quickly dive into our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at the end of smartphones, tech you can actually wear, getting inside our minds and eyes, what happens when screens disappear completely, and finally, the ultimate AI ecosystem.
All right, Section 1, the end of smartphones. Let's talk about the end of an era.
For the last 2 decades, smartphones have completely ruled our lives, right? They've replaced our cameras, our physical maps, our wallets, and today, we're looking at more than 7 billion smartphones in use worldwide. 7 billion! That is a staggering number. But here's the reality. Every technology has its limits. And the smartphone? It has finally reached its absolute peak.
So think about this for a second. How many times do you unlock your phone every single day? 100? 150 times? Every single ping and notification forces you to stop whatever you're doing and stare down at a little rectangle of glowing glass. It's exhausting. And the big tech companies, they know this. They realize the next massive revolution isn't just building a faster phone, it's creating a world where the technology actually disappears right into the background.
Which brings us to Section 2, Tech You Can Wear. We're moving the tech out of our pockets and onto our bodies. The first phase of this post-smartphone era starts with AI smart glasses. Paint this picture in your head. You're walking through the streets of Tokyo. You look at a street sign in Japanese, and your glasses instantly translate it to English right before your eyes. Or maybe you're cooking dinner, and the recipe just hovers in your field of vision in real time. It's literally like having a superpower.
And the crazy part is, this is happening right now. Global heavyweights like Meta, Google, Apple, and Samsung are pouring billions into AI-powered glasses. But what's absolutely fascinating is how Indian deep tech startups are actively building this alongside them. We're talking about Lenskart's AI eyewear, AjnaLens building mixed reality headsets, CubeWR and enterprise AR, and Ultrahuman developing advanced health sensors. This future is being built globally, and India is a massive part of that push.
Next up, we've got AI wearables. Imagine walking out the front door without your phone, but you never actually feel disconnected. Why? Because you've got an AI assistant clipped right to your shirt, kind of like the Humane AI pin or the Rabbit R1. Instead of scrolling through apps, you just talk to it naturally. You say, "Hey, summarize today's emails," or "book me a cab," and the AI just handles the whole shebang.
Now, over the next decade or so, those bulky mixed reality headsets we see today, like the Apple Vision Pro or Meta Quest, they're going to shrink dramatically. And what if the primary device replacing your phone literally just fits on your finger? Smart rings from companies like Aura and again India's Ultrahuman are already tracking our health 24/7. Very soon they could be processing secure payments or even unlocking your car.
Moving on to Section 3, Inside Minds and Eyes. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we start interfacing directly with human biology. So we're moving past the stuff you just wear and getting into brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs. Just imagine the totally mind-bending scenario of sending a WhatsApp message to your mom just by thinking about it. No typing, no voice commands. You don't move a single muscle. Your thoughts literally become the remote control. To put it simply, these systems create a direct communication link between your brain's electrical signals and a computer. Tiny sensors pick up on your brainwaves, and an AI interprets them. Now, sure, companies like Neuralink and Synchron are heavily focused on medical applications right now, like helping people with paralysis, but in the long run, this could completely wipe out the need for keyboards and touchscreens. You just think, open my presentation, and boom, it appears. But hey, if you aren't exactly thrilled about putting a microchip inside your brain, there's always smart contact lenses. Researchers at companies like Mojo Vision are literally building lenses that project data directly onto your eyeball. Just imagine turn-by-turn directions or real-time language translations floating naturally in your field of vision, all coming from what looks like a totally ordinary contact lens.
Okay, we have some truly mind-blowing concepts coming up in the final half of this explainer. But real quick, if you're finding value in this deep dive so far, please take a quick second to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It honestly makes a huge difference and helps us keep bringing you these deep dives. All right, let's jump back in and look at the final invisible stages of future tech. Section 4. When screens disappear completely. This is where the physical interfaces start to vanish.
We are entering an era where the devices themselves completely vanish from our hands. Enter ambient computing. Imagine waking up in the morning and your house already knows you had a terrible night's sleep. So the lights brighten a bit more gently. The coffee machine fires up automatically. Your morning meetings automatically shift because it knows the traffic is terrible. It's a totally seamless experience.
In this future, you don't interact with technology. The technology interacts with you. You literally never open an app. The AI systems, whether they're from Google, Amazon, or Apple, just quietly and intuitively handle the heavy lifting in the background.
And then you add holographic displays and humanoid robots into the mix. Instead of staring at a laptop, imagine sitting in your living room with 3D holograms of your coworkers floating right there for a meeting. And instead of tapping a screen to order groceries or organize your house, you have humanoid robots from companies like Tesla or Figure AI taking care of it. You just say, hey, put the groceries away, and it physically gets the job done.
Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5, the ultimate AI ecosystem. This brings us to the 10th and honestly most surprising technology on our list today, because it isn't actually a single device at all. It's the entire AI ecosystem. You see, you'll be wearing your AI glasses, your smart ring is monitoring your vitals, your house is anticipating your every need. The smartphone itself doesn't just vanish overnight. Instead, it just quietly fades into the background, acting as this invisible, centralized computing hub hidden away in your pocket or your bag. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive shift we're about to see. Today, we are bogged down with the active chore of unlocking screens and topping glass. But tomorrow, we're going to live totally surrounded by ambient intelligence. It will be deeply connected, highly aware, and completely invisible.
So, what's the final verdict here? When we look at mass adoption, in first place as the most practical near-term replacement, we've got AI smart glasses. Taking the silver medal, we have AI assistance and ambient computing, and in third, smart rings and wearables. While things like brain-computer interfaces and 3D holograms are absolutely incredible, they still face some massive safety and cost hurdles before we all have them in our living rooms.
You know, 20 years ago, absolutely nobody would have believed that one little rectangle in your pocket would completely replace your camera, your paper maps, and your television. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If you had to choose just one of these technologies to use today, which one would it be? Are you going for the AI smart glasses? Or are you brave enough to try a brain-computer interface? Let me know your answer down in the comments. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you absolutely do not miss next week's Explainer, where we'll be diving into the massive AI data centers that are actually powering this whole revolution. See you then!